Hello my friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here with me today. Today is a brand new video, taking it back a lot of years and going into my collection and getting some of my favorites from back in the day when YouTube had just started. I am super excited to put them to the test and create this look for you all today. I hope you enjoy this video. It is so amazing to see that I still have some of these products in my collection, which might not be such a great thing because they're really old. But I really do love my products, so I have a hard time letting go of them. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Some of you can try this video out, go into your collection and dig out some of your favorites or some of your oldest makeup that you have in your collection, because some of these were super old. For example, the palette, this is the oldest palette I have in my collection. It's very old. I'm not sure how many years. I will leave it on the screen, but this was my first palette I ever got, so I'm super excited to share this tutorial with you all. Also, I'm so sorry about my skin today. It is kind of peeling a little bit, so hopefully you don't mind that. I wanted to film this video for you all, so yeah, I'm just having a bad skin day today. Don't forget to subscribe and give my video a thumbs up, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with today's tutorial. All right, so I have primed my eyelids and I'm ready for eyeshadow, and the eyeshadow that we will be using today is by Urban Decay. This is the Naked palette, the original. I've had this for years. I'm not even sure if I should be using the eyeshadows anymore, but we're gonna be doing it for this video. I just love this palette so much. I cannot get rid of it just for sentimental purposes. I don't remember if it was that amazing in quality, but this was the very first palette I ever bought when I got into makeup, and it holds a lot of sentimental value. So we're gonna start by looking at the eyeshadow. These are the shades right here. Look at how gorgeous. We're gonna create a very simple look, so let's go ahead and get started. First of all, I'm going to go into this shade right here called Naked, and I'm going to put that all over my crease. If you used to have this palette or you have this palette in your collection, give my video a thumbs up because this one was a favorite for many people. Next up, I'm going to go into the eyeshadow called Buck right here. I'm going to put that a little bit higher on my crease just to blend everything out. Next up, I'm going to go into this shade right here called Half Baked. I'm going to spray my brush though, just so I can get the most pigment out of the eyeshadow. So just with a setting spray, you'll spray your brush. This always helps a lot with eyeshadow. It helps you get a little bit more pigment. You see how pigmented that is? If you use a dry brush, you may sometimes not have as much pigment as this. How gorgeous. I don't even remember back in the day if I would like spray my brush, because I don't remember the shade being like this. Maybe I didn't know that trick yet. Another little tip I have for you is drag the shadow down when it's a shimmer like this. Bring it down with your brush instead of swiping it. You'll get a lot more pigment that way. So next up, I'm going to go into this shade right here called Dark Horse, and I'm going to put that like on the outer corner and kind of just blend it out. Now we want to blend this all out, so I'm going to go back to the shade Buck, and I'm going to go ahead and blend everything together. I'm going to go into the shade right here called Sin, and I'm going to spray my brush and I'm going to put that in the inner corner. So I went ahead and added some lashes, my brows, and all of that because I really don't have any products that like were my first products for any of those areas of my face. But we're gonna move on to our face and our foundation. So I know that one of my favorite foundations back in the day was the Studio Fix foundation from MAC, but I do not have that anymore in my collection. But the second one that I was in love with and have used for so many years is this one by L'Oreal. This is the Pro Matte Infallible foundation, so I'm going to go ahead and use that today. This is a great foundation. It stays matte for a very long time. So I've enjoyed this one throughout the years, and I always go back to it and repurchase. Now we're gonna move on to concealer, and I used to love the LA Girl Pro Conceal right here back in the day. I also loved a MAC Cosmetics concealer that came in like in a little pot, and I like this color corrector from e.l.f. This is a color corrector e.l.f. Any products that I can find, I will link them down for you, but I would just come in here and color correct. And just go over top. I wouldn't even blend it out. I just do that. And this is kind of peachy as well, and it's really light. So we're gonna work with this. Let's see how this ends up looking. So I definitely brightened up the area. I'm gonna add a little bit right here in the center. And I'm gonna blend that out. Something that I used to love to set my concealer, I don't know if you all remember this. I believe it's still available. It's this NYX highlight and contour palette, and I used to love this banana powder right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that with a sponge and just set my under eye area. And I used to love the bronzers here as well. I finished this one and almost done with this one, so I'm just gonna use what I have. All right, so now we're gonna move on. I'm gonna leave this on because I am gonna wipe it off right now. But another one of my favorites was by Urban Decay. And this is called the Velvetizer. This product was supposed to help your makeup last longer. This was perfect for people that have oily skin. This is what it looks like right here. So I'm just gonna get some of that on a brush and just going to pat it in. All right, so there we have it. My concealer has definitely looked better. But we're just gonna go with it. I'm gonna go back into this palette and I'm just gonna mix the bronzers and bring some warmth back into my face. So before we finish off the face, I'm gonna go back to the eyeshadow palette. I'm gonna go into the shade called Hustle, this one right here, and I'm gonna place that on the lower lash line. Moving on, one of my all-time favorite blushes from back in the day was this one by MAC Cosmetics. This is in the color Peaches. It's this really pretty peach color, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply some. One of my favorite highlights from back in the day was this one by Becca in the color Opal. Everybody raved about this color, so let's go ahead and remind ourselves what this looks like. So one of my favorite lip liners from back in the day was this one by Rimmel in the color Wild Clover. It's so beautiful. I can't find Rimmel sometimes at the drugstore, so I think online would be the best bet. If I find it, I will link it down below. And you all know MAC Cosmetics lipsticks were all the rave back then. Angel was one of my very first lipsticks because, of course, Miss Kim Kardashian raved about this one. So let's see how it looks on me. And a gloss that I really loved was this one by Mally. I think I found this one at Ulta, and I don't even know the color of this one, guys. I will search it. You just move this and the product comes up to the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply it. Alright friends, and that is it. This is the look that I came up with using some of my favorite products from back in the day. These were some of my first products in my collection. I thought it was a good idea to just look back at how it all started in YouTube. I actually bought all these products because I saw someone on YouTube rave about them. So this was back in the day when YouTube was barely starting off. What do you all think about today's look? Let me know in the comment section below. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, my friends, and I will see you on the next one. Bye, friends.